Hi, Bob Saul from Lithofin, and in a series of cleaning, protecting and maintaining, today we're having a look at cleaning up an Indian sandstone. It has been jet washed, but we've got quite a bit of black spore and heavy staining that is remaining. Now, if you go in too heavy with your jet washing, you are removing softer particles of that stone and it becomes rougher, so it dirties down a lot quicker. So today we're going to chemically remove the remaining staining with a product called Lithofin Outdoor Cleaner, and we're going to be using this neat. And what we're going to do first, and we'd always recommend, is to do a small test. So I'm going to do a test stone in the most discreet area you can find. We're going to apply it neat, we're going to saturate it into the stone. It's important that maybe the stone's been drying a couple of days. The drier the stone, the more product you'll get into that stone and the better it will work for you. You can apply it just by pouring it onto the stone and moving it around with a stiff brush, or when we come to do the full floor, you can actually use it in a pump sprayer and apply it and wet that stone out. What I'll generally do is apply it, saturate it in for 10 minutes, and then I'll leave it an hour, see if it's removed the contamination. I'll reapply or re-wet the stone. If that hasn't disappeared, I'll even leave them overnight and then come back in the morning and lightly just jet wash again. We're not pressure washing into the stone, we're just removing the product. What you will have to watch is any lawned areas or plants. Try and keep that away from those, because obviously that can have an effect on them. What I'll do now is we'll show you the test stone that we're going to do and complete. And again, what that'll do is you'll just confirm, one, that it's going to remove all the contamination for you, and you can use the rest of that litre up then and see how much that will cover, and then you'll know exactly what you need to cover the rest of your area if you're dealing with larger areas. So let's have a look at that test stone. I'll show you the application. We'll let that actually fully clean, see where we're at with it, and then I'll run through how we do the rest of the areas. The main thing, if you are applying it, make sure you've got some old clothes on, some old boots or Wellingtons. This product, if you do splash it onto your clothes, can ruin them. And again, if you are spraying or applying to vertical surfaces, you're going to need gloves and eyewear, just to make sure you're all safe. Let's have a look at the test stone before and after, and we'll see where to go. Okay, so I'm going to put the product neat straight onto this stone, and I'm literally just wetting that out. If you've got dust after the jet washing, you can just give that a brush with a stiff broom. But literally we want, like I said, the drier the stone, the better the product will perform, because it will be absorbed into that stone. But we are literally going to wet this out quite generously. And what I'll generally do is leave that 10 minutes, and again, let that absorb in, re-wet it, and then leave it 1 to 2 hours. If you're going to do a test, this is in the middle of my floor. Try and put it in a discreet area. But if you have any problems at this test stage, we'd like you to ring us, so we can see what might be happening or how you're using the product. But literally wet that out. The stone's starting to absorb it. Again, I'll wait 10 minutes, reapply, and then I'll even let that on. Okay, so we've left this an hour now. I've just re-wetted it, re-scrubbed it. You can see that it is definitely starting to clean. As I said, if you've got real black spore algae and heavy lichens, I will probably re-wet that and leave that overnight. But we'll see how we get on. It might take 4 or 5 hours, but we'll see how we get on and how that's removing this contamination. Okay, so this is our test stone, and as you can see from the rest, and it's just drying off, I've rinsed that off this morning, it's nearly dry now, but we've got a good result. That's leaving it overnight. What we'll do now is we'll put the product on the rest of the area, and we'll again scrub that in, leave it an hour, scrub again, re-wet, and then leave that overnight, and we'll come back and have a look. into a sprayer and spray it through, and then give it a scrub with a stiff brush, but either or. Direct to stone, use it neat, or like I say, scrub it in with a stiff brush, or apply with a sprayer. Just remember, the drier the stone, the better the product will sink in, and the more contamination it will remove. So we've got that nice wet look finish. Like I say, I'll give it an hour, re-scrub it in, re-wet it if it hasn't got rid of everything. And as with our test stone, we'll leave that overnight, and then I'll come back, give it a light rinse off, and we'll let it dry and have a look. Okay, so we left this overnight. I've given it a light rinse over this morning. You can either do that just with a hose and a broom, or a jet wash just lightly. Again, we're not putting the jet wash anywhere near the stones, just literally removing the contamination. And these have come up lovely and bright.